Hello everyone, it's Colin Larkin here again from Christ the King in Topeka. Today is Monday of the 16th week in Ordinary Time, and this is a reflection on today's Gospel, which comes from the 12th chapter of Matthew. Some of the scribes and Pharisees said to Jesus, "Teacher, we wish to see a sign from you." He said to them in reply, "An evil and unfaithful generation seeks a sign, but no sign will be given it except the sign of Jonah the prophet. Just as Jonah was in the belly of the whale 3 days and 3 nights, so will the Son of Man be in the heart of the earth 3 days and 3 nights. At the judgment, the men of Nineveh will arise with this generation and condemn it, because they repented at the preaching of Jonah. And there is something greater than Jonah here. At the judgment, the queen of the south will arise with this generation and condemn it, because she came from the ends of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon. And there is something greater than Solomon here." So today's gospel is all about signs. I think so many of us can, really appreciate this gospel. There have been so many times in my own life, I figure this is pretty common, in which you just ask for a sign from the Lord, whether it be about making a big decision. Sometimes it's just fundamentally in belief in God at all. Lord, if you're there, show me a sign. They call that the atheist's prayer. Jesus, if you're out there, do something for me. I want to see a sign. And I have a professor at the seminary who said a couple years ago, he said that with apologetics in Catholicism, he said we carry this very interesting burden because Catholicism is so glaringly obvious that people don't want to believe it. It's like it's such an obvious fact that God exists and that the church is the one true church that people think they're getting tricked or something, and so they don't want to believe it. But I think at the heart of this failure to conversion is the understanding that if I have faith, then I'm going to have to change the way that I live. If I profess the creed, then I will have to accept the commandments. Most people, when they have a trouble coming to faith or when they have disagreements with Catholicism, it is almost never about the beliefs of the church. It is almost always about the commandments of the church. I don't believe the church is teaching on abortion or whatever it may be, and therefore I'm not going to be a part of your church. And then they ask for signs and say, "Okay, God, if you just tell me, then I'll be a part of your church." And it's like, well, look around you. The fact that the world exists at all is an incredible argument for the existence of God. St. Thomas Aquinas in the 12th century, 13th century, put forth 5 proofs for the existence of God. They're all very simple. They're all demonstrable. You cannot disagree with them without contradicting yourself. And that's pretty much what he starts with. He just starts from creation and goes through some very logical steps and arrives at the conclusion that God exists. But yet still there are people out there who say, "How do I know God exists? We can't prove it." It's like, well, the fact that you exist means that God exists. But like I said, deeper at the heart of that matter is this real inability, I hold back. I don't want to change my life. If I have to acknowledge that I am reliant upon someone, then that means that there is something due to him. If he has given me life and existence, then I at least need to give him my praise. And because we're fallen, because we're sinful, we're concupiscent little beings, we just really, really struggle to do that. And we see the Pharisees in this gospel doing the same thing. They say, "Teacher, give us a sign, and then we will believe in you." And Jesus answers in so few words, "The resurrection will be the sign." You see, the whole of the truth of Christianity hinges upon this one fact: Jesus rose from the dead. Even St. Paul says, if Jesus did not rise from the dead, your faith is in vain. You are not saved. Your sins are not forgiven. Nothing else matters if the resurrection did not occur. But praise be Jesus Christ, he did overcome the power of death. He did rise again on the 3rd day, and now he offers us a participation in his own divine life. And so, brothers and sisters, this morning, I just encourage you guys to again take a look in your own heart, take a look at yourself, see where are the places in which you're still kind of doubting. Where are the places that you still wish that you could ask or that you could have a sign from the Lord to really cement your faith? And faith is a journey. It's a gift, but it's also a journey of abandoning ourselves more and more over to the loving hands of our Father. And so just take a look at your life, see where you need work, and just ask for help. Say, Lord, increase our faith, that we may come to believe in you, that we may be given the courage to change our sinful ways, that ultimately we may come to praise you forever in heaven.